Hi, my name is Lindsay Rappaport and I am from sunny Southern California. I've been traveling my entire life. The first time I was ever on an airplane, I was about 2 months old and my parents took me to New York. Since then, I've been to New York once or twice a year. So that just exposed me to the concept of travel. What really sparked my interest was the Olympics. The first time I remember watching the Olympics was the 2000 Sydney Olympics, and all I cared about was watching all the shots of the Sydney Opera House and all the landscapes, but that really got me interested in travel. Not long after that, I saw Lord of the Rings. I want to go to New Zealand more than anything in the world. You know why? Because when I saw Lord of the Rings when I was like 11, I was looking at the landscapes when like the dwarves are running and when like Legolas is running, and I'm like, I need to go there. Like, it just like took my breath away, even as an 11-year-old. I was so mesmerized. And then when they light the beacons, I was like, I need to go to every beacon. Like, that's what I need to do. That's just what sold me on New Zealand. And like literally, when I like need to be inspired about travel, I'll watch those two scenes over and over and over again. I don't know exactly how I would get to those beacons, but it just inspired the concept of New Zealand in my head. And so I know that I want to go to, I know that the Hobbiton set is still up, and so that's a place I definitely want to go to. But then like I have a friend who just went to New Zealand, and she like went to some of these like beautiful lakes, and there's like beautiful mountain sceneries there. The Maori people are like the natives to New Zealand. It's just like Native Americans in the United States. They have local customs, they have like a different culture, they have different languages, but today they're more integrated into the culture of New Zealand as a whole, but they're still their own thing. So it'd be interesting to go to like a Maori village, like meet those kinds of people, interview them about, you know, just their life, their culture, their customs, stuff like that. I know a lot of people, they know of New Zealand now because of Lord of the Rings, and they've seen just the few landscapes that are presented in those films, but I want to show them like the rest of it, that there's so much more. There's so many more beautiful sceneries. They have, you know, there's Wellington, there's Auckland, there's like all these cool little towns that you can go and see. And, you know, there's a lot of young travelers there because it's, you know, they all speak English. It's easy for Americans to get around in a place like that. But there's so much there. There's so many beautiful things and interesting things that most Americans probably don't know about. And I would love to show everybody. You know, it was one of the first countries besides the United States that I was exposed to as a little kid. So it's like kind of been like my childhood dream, so to speak. So I mean, since then, I've been to 20 countries. I've been to China, I've been to India, I've been to, you know, Israel and Jordan, and I've been to the Caribbean. Like, I've been all over the world. And so, you know, I've had experiences from all these other places. But New Zealand, it's still my childhood dream. You know, just the beauty of it. I love nature. You know, I come from Los Angeles. It's like a smoggy, gross kind of city. I'm not really a fan so much. But New Zealand is like, you know, complete 180-degree opposite, and I love that aspect of it. I am so passionate about it that like just taking photos, doing videos of the people and blogging about my experiences, I could just get people excited about it. I mean, I had a friend who studied abroad in New Zealand because I inspired her to go there. Because of my enthusiasm for the place, she ended up studying abroad there and I didn't. But, you know, I guess just because of my enthusiasm for the place, that I could, you know, really inspire other people to go there, especially if I've been there before. I mean, I've inspired people to go to Israel, and I could have never done that in the past if I hadn't been there. So my preferred method of travel is definitely, you know, taking buses, staying in hostels, you know, maybe camping if possible, kind of like the whole rugged route thing. I mean, I like having some sort of structure, like knowing there's a bus that I can always catch, or knowing there's a train, or, you know, if I was in the United States, I would definitely drive a car across the country. Stuff like that. I mean, top of the line, I'm not so much a fan of, just because I feel like then you're not really experiencing the place. Like, I really want to experience the place. Where if I'm like, you know, in a resort somewhere, or like in a 5-star hotel, I feel like you miss the culture a little bit. Where if you're staying in a hostel, you're camping, you're doing a homestay in someone's house, you really learn the country more. And I feel like you're more absorbed into it. Where if you're like at a 5-star hotel, you're kind of in your own little like American bubble. And I don't think that's as interesting. I know that I'm the perfect person for this job because of my love of traveling. I've been to some crazy third world countries, planned itineraries in different languages, traveled on my own, backpacked, slept in bus stations. I've done it all. I understand how to budget my time, budget my money to get the most out of every experience. My name is Lindsay Rappaport, and I want you to send me to New Zealand.